Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. In this time, I'm from group Pure Set. We will presentation about learning centered approach. And my group, it is Ahmad Mulyadi, Enjang Kusnayadi, Muhammad Samsul Arif, Mahfud Purnama, Yuda Irawan, and last, Badru Jamaluddin. Okay. In this time, number one presentation, you will in the presentation by Samsung. Okay, next slide. Okay, learning centered approach. Okay. A learning centered approach. This first approach is based on the principle that learning is totally determined by the learners. As teacher, we can influence what we teach, but what learners learn is determined by the learner's law. And then, learning is seen as a process in which the learners should what knowledge or skill they happen or to make sense of the flow of the new information. And learning, therefore, is an internal process which is gradual, dependent upon knowledge in the learners already have understood ability and motivation. And learning is not just a mental process. It is a process of negotiation between of the skills. Okay? Dari pendekatan ini bahwa prinsip belajar sepenuhnya itu ditentukan oleh pengajar. Nah, kita sebagai guru, kita bisa mendapatkan atau bisa mempengaruhi apa yang kita ajarkan kepada siswa. Akan tetapi, apa yang dipelajari siswa itu akan ditentukan oleh siswa dengan penerapan yang dipikirkan oleh siswa untuk menentukan oleh pemikiran siswa itu sendiri. Nah. Terus belajar juga bisa dipandang sebagai suatu proses di mana peserta didik menggunakan pengetahuan atau keterampilan apa yang mereka miliki untuk memahami aliran informasi. Oleh karena itu, belajar merupakan proses internal yang sangat bergantung pada pengetahuan yang telah dimiliki oleh siswa dan kemampuan serta motivasi mereka untuk menggunakannya. Dan begitu pun, belajar bukan hanya sekedar proses mental saja. Dan belajar itu adalah proses negosiasi antara individu dan masyarakat. Tujuannya apa? Dengan sistem learning centered approach, siswa bisa mempelajari apa yang mereka pahami dari pembelajaran bahasa Inggris sesuai dengan majornya. Nah, di situ pun di sisi lain siswa bisa menyesuaikan sesuai dengan proses mental masing-masing siswa. Karena masing-masing siswa itu berbeda pemikirannya dan juga berbeda pendapat agar sesuai dengan keinginan siswa agar diterima pembelajaran. Okay, next. In the next slide, it is the table of identified learnings. Okay, learning centers through table and length and the orders of the lengths or dimension. Okay, a learning-centered approach is identify learners and number one, analyze learning target situation. Number two, analyze learning situation. And analyze learning situation through one. Number one, theoretical views of learning. And number two, identify attitudes, wants, potential of learners. Okay, this is time. Identify needs, identifies contraction of learning of the teaching situation. It is identify learners by analyzing learning situation. And bicycle of the third drive, it is analyze learning target station. Okay, and analyze learning target station in through table. Is number one, theoretical view of language. Number two, identify skill and knowledge needed to function in the target situation. In this the order of true version of the system of the table, it is true of the camel or of the global is the term. It is right syllabus or material to exploit the potential of the learning situation in the acquisition of skill and knowledge required by the learner in the target situation. And the target of the syllabus, right? And last, evaluation. Next. Okay. It is 3 points in the learning centers approach. Number one, language centers approach say this the nature of the target station performance and that will determine ESE course. And number two, a skill-centered approach says that's not enough. We must look behind target performance data to discover what processes will determine the ESP course. And number three, a learning-centered approach says that not enough either. We must look beyond of the content that enables someone performed, because what we really want to discover is not the competence itself, but how someone acquires that competence. Okay? Jadi, dari pendekatan yang berpusat pada bahasa mengatakan bahwa sifat dari kinerja situasi target itu yang akan menentukan pendekatan ISP. Itu yang pertama. Terus yang kedua, pendekatan yang berpusat pada keterampilan menyatakan kita harus melihat ke belakang data kinerja target untuk menemukan proses apa yang akan menentukan ISP. Apakah sesuai dengan major atau sesuai dengan minat para siswa. And the last, kita juga harus melihat bagaimana cara melampaui kompetensi yang memungkinkan seseorang berprestasi, karena yang sebenarnya ingin kita temukan bukanlah kompetensi itu sendiri, melainkan bagaimana seseorang memperoleh kompetensi itu secara baik dan juga bisa diterapkan oleh siswa. And next presentation will explained by Ahmad Mulyadi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Mulyadi. I'm from Be Yourself Group. This is my presentation about my creative CV infographic. Okay, this is my creative CV infographic. Uh, There are analysis, target situation, identify target situation, analysis learning situation, and then teach materials, write materials, evaluate learner achievement, and the last write syllabus. Jadi di My Creative CV Infographic ada beberapa tahap atau beberapa siklus, yaitu analisis target situasi, identifikasi target situasi, analisis pembelajaran situasi, penulisan materi, terus materi pembelajaran, penulisan materi, evaluasi pengajaran yang digunakan, terus menulis silabus. Next, in the figure show that a learning centered approach to course design takes account of the learners at every stage of the design process. This has two implications. Jadi di sini ada dua course design. The first course design is a negotiation process, and course design is a dynamic process. The first course design is a negotiation process. There is not single factor which has which has on a trait determining influence on the content of the course, the ESP learning situation and the target situation, which both influence the nature of the syllabus, material methodology, and evaluation procedure. Similarly, each of these components will influenced by the other. Jadi di tahap yang pertama ini, yaitu pada setiap proses tidak ada hal yang secara langsung menentukan kontennya atau materinya. Ada tahap yang dapat mempengaruhi sifat silabus, metodologi materi, dan prosedur evaluasi. The second, course design is a dynamic process. It does not move in a linear fashion from initial analysis to complete course. Needs and resources vary with time. The course design, therefore, needs to have built-in feedback channels to enable the course to respond to development. Jadi, course design is a dynamic process, yaitu proses yang tidak bergerak secara linear dari awal sampai akhir karena kebutuhan yang bervariasi atau bermacam-macam. I think enough for me. Thank you. Back to moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Jan Kusnadi. I will translation on page 7 and 8. Okay, next. Okay. Okay, a learning center approach. This is many theories, whole learning theories. This one, nature of particular target and learning situation. Who, why, where, when. This is a methodology, ESP course, a syllabus, whole learning theories. Jadi ada beberapa di sini metodologi teori-teorinya. Metodologi ke atas SP course, terus di syllabus, dan bagaimana pembelajaran atau pembelajarannya, kemudian di sini bagaimana atau pembelajarannya, metodologinya. Oke, next. Kemudian Outline of Learning Centered Approach (ESP) is based on designing to meet learner need. Nah, ini membutuhkan apa yang dapat dilakukan dengan course design, inflow, data analysis, model of learning, approach to course design, ways of describing language. Jadi di sini ada model pembelajarannya, ada need analysis, approach to course design, way describing language. Jadi ada 4 yang dibutuhkan untuk ESP tersebut. Oke, cukup dari saya.
Baik, di sini saya akan menjelaskan poin-poin dari outline of a learning centered approach. Di sini ada beberapa kolom yaitu DSP is based of design to meet the need. Semuanya ada what does course design for. Lalu ada model of learning, data analysis, lalu what of describing language, dan juga setelah itu baru approach to course design. Lalu dari DSP course bagi-bagi bagian itu ada syllabus, materi evaluation, methodology, materi evaluation. Nah, materi evaluation itu ada lagi bagi evaluation. What is the rule of ESP? Itu ada 2. Yang pertama itu belajar gambar, ada orientation dan juga research.
Okay, thank you for moderator for giving opportunity for me. And before describe for material, I will introduce myself. My name is Mapta Purnama and I'm member in group Be Yourself. And now I will describe for material principles of ESP course design, yang mana ada 7 diantaranya content difficult sort of approximate the level in their normal course. This means, for instance, you cannot expect medicine student and doctor to study high school biology. Medical student need university level contents, and if it means that the English teachers cannot understand the science, then so be it. Let the English teacher learn the science. Yang mana ini konten yang sulit harus mendekati level dalam kursus normal mereka. Tentunya kita tidak memaksakan seseorang untuk bisa memahami atau melaksanakan sesuatu yang bukan di bidangnya, ya. Yang sebagaimana pepatah mengatakan, kalian tidak bisa memaksa seekor ikan untuk memanjat pohon. Seperti itu kurang lebih, ya. Mohon maaf apabila salah. Dan yang selanjutnya, content should lead language. The content itself should be useful to the student and should be stretching in its own right. This does not mean that student texts are always complicated. And the third, the exercise on the material should be authentically as well as the material itself. It means to the trivial text and a major focus on read words, comparison, inferencing, and doubting. Yang mana ini tugasnya adalah sepele dan fokus pada utamanya adalah untuk pemahaman dunia 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 nyata atau real life, in interferensi dan debat. Dan selanjutnya, there should be massive exposure to content and language. Yang mana konten yang sulit harus mendekati level yang mana konten harus ada paparan-paparan besar-besaran terhadap konten atau bahasa. The next, we need to be using authentically long text for listening and reading. The next, communication gaps should be massively exploited. It is well known that language is learned fastest when there is a desire to know or when there is controversy. And the last, method should draw inspiration from content. Teacher the comparison to be modeled with low L1 learning advance and learn a new technical subject in L1. Therefore, ESP should draw inspiration from the content teaching method in L1, which frequently have high demand on language. Okay, class, I think enough for material and describing for material principally of ESP course design. I will say thanks for attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.